Wuthering Waves is an amazing game, but is it amazing enough? If I had to sum up Wuthering Waves in a sentence, it is essentially Genshin Impact with all the quality of life changes that Genshin Impact players wish they had. What do I mean by that? Well, to give you starters, traversing through map can be quite fun. With the grappling hook, you can literally zip and fly through places. That's an improvement most people like to have. Not only that though, stamina isn't consumed when you're sprinting in the overworld. Outside of combat, if you're just sprinting normally, you're not going to be consuming stamina, which is great. Not only that though, you also have option to run up walls vertically. What do I mean by that? Well, let's find a wall. We can run up walls instead of having to climb up these stupid walls. You can literally pull a matrix and zoom your way up to the wall. There's so many quality of life changes that this game has that it would take an hour to just go over everything, but what I really want to focus on are the main points. The last big thing that I do want to go over is its gacha system. Obviously, this game has gacha, there's a limited time banner, but not only that though, instead of 90 for hard pity, you have 80 pulls for hard pity. Obviously, with the character banner, it's 50-50, but the biggest thing is that for weapon banner, there is no 50-50. It's literally 100% guaranteed you're going to get the weapon you want no matter what. The only difference is, if you're unlucky, it's going to take you full 80 pulls, but if you're lucky, it'll take less. So, if you want to E5, E6, whatever you want to do with your weapons and characters, obviously characters will be hard because you can lose the 50-50, but with weapons, impossible. You get the weapon, you'll get what you want, just spend the money, and you're guaranteed to get it, which is amazing. But the biggest thing I want to talk about isn't really the characters, but it really is just how this game is amazing, but it would have been way more amazing if it came out at around the same time as Genshin Impact. Obviously, Genshin Impact has been out for a long time, and this game took a long time to make. But because of that, we have a much more polished and finished product, which is amazing. You can skip story dialogue. Combat is more fluid. Not only that, though, the game gives you a Pokemon little system where it acts as relics, where you can use it to be able to do damage with your character. So, instead of your character having its regular skill, basic attack, and heavy skill, now you have Pokemons do stuff. And the Pokemons can be farmable. And with different rarities. This game doesn't really gate your farming when it comes to stuff like stats. It gates you by slowing down your progression from leveling up stuff. So anything that's quote-unquote stamina, resin locked is not farming the item itself, but everything that's stamina, resin, energy related is locked behind progression of your item. Leveling up your item is what's going to cost the resin, which I think is a way better system, but the issue with this game is that it's competing for your attention with a bajillion of other games. It's competing with, obviously, Genshin Impact. It's competing with Genshin Baby, which is Honkai Star Rail, and a plethora of other games. Give you an example, I personally play Marvel Snap, Honkai Star Rail. Those are the two games that I play. Marvel Snap, I play daily, just to do my dailies, but Honkai Star Rail, I play maybe once every 2 days. That's me. I'm not too keen about adding another gacha game, and I will say most people can only really fit 3 gacha games in a normal set. Obviously, you guys can play way more than 3 gacha games. You can play more than just 3 games, but I think, from experience, an average person can handle, at most, 3 gacha games before it just becomes way too much to follow everything. Now, the thing is, each gacha game has the battle passes, has other bundles, which means if you have multiple gacha games, and if you're a spender, more often than not, you're going to be spending money in the game. And if you don't spend money in the game, that's great. You're not going to FOMO yourself. If you don't spend any money in any of the games, then you don't really care about falling behind. But most people, for the convenience of $10-20 a month, can get so much extra benefits and value. Most people who have a job don't even think twice about spending in the game, which, more power to you, not a big deal. But what ends up happening is you're catching up with 2-3 games and you spend in all 2-3 games at once, it adds up quite quickly. For me, my biggest thing is that Wuthering Waves is a very fun game. It actually rewards people for skillful gameplay. As you can see in the video where I beat up this bear, I am getting absolutely mauled and destroyed. This bear, even though it is a level 120, it is not impossible to beat it with good skill. Am I saying people should do this? No, but it just goes to show you that this game, with enough skill, allows you to be able to progress. Just because you have the maxed out gear, best character, if you as a pilot or a gamer suck, you are gonna get punished. Unless you learn, you don't get better at the game. This game, you could say, is Gacha Dark Souls. You could, quote-unquote, say it's Gacha Dark Souls because this thing one-shots you. There's just no deal with it, but it gives you a way to be able to clear it eventually, as you'll see. Now, when it comes to Gacha games, we all have a different flavor. Some people like Arknights, some people like Nikkei, some people like Honkai Star. Whatever their Gacha game is, whatever the flavor of the month is, play it. It's fun. The problem is, there's so many Gacha games out there competing for everyone's attention. Even I personally can barely keep up with 2. And just adding a third Gacha game is just so time consuming. Don't get me wrong. It is fun. Enjoy playing it. There's a decent story. And why do I know there's a decent story? It's because I skipped the whole damn thing. That's what makes the story so great. If I really care about the story that much, I can read it at my own pace. But if I really care about the story, I'm sure if I go to YouTube and just Google up Wuthering Waves story, somebody is going to summarize the story within 20 to 30 minutes and I'll get the gist of the story. Which is huzzah, great. And that's how most people would play the video game that I would do. Which is just fantastic. But this game, it's hella fun. It's hella fluid with its combat system. It's got hella quality of life changes compared to Genshin. The only issue is that it's just not Genshin. If this game was Genshin, oh my god, Genshin would be so much better. But this game is like Genshin. And I don't really want to be comparing this game to Genshin because honestly speaking, both games have their pros and cons. Wuthering Waves, from a color perspective, health-wise, it's way darker. It's just less vibrant overall. Your characters are, well, how would I say it? You got a lot of red-haired characters. A lot of red-haired characters in the beginning. I think you have like 6 or 8 characters that are just redhead in Wuthering Waves, which is not a lot of diversity, but what do you expect? It's the game, it's brand new. However, it does a lot of things uniquely, which I can appreciate. Now, is there really a big problem with the game? Not really. Obviously, there's a lack of content, but it's a brand new game. There's gonna be bugs. That's to be expected. However, Wuthering Waves, I would say, is an amazing game. Very generous, very fair, and honestly speaking, really fun. I really enjoyed it. The fluidity of combat, the traversal of terrain, the generosity of the developer. Because here's the thing, a big thing is that this game, literally, after it came out, within 2 days, just stealth, developers were in the background patching the game with things that we weren't even aware of. They released the patch, it's updated, and they decide to give us 23 gacha pulls. This is just stuff that's usually relatively unheard of in gacha games, because gacha games are usually big greedy corporations that want to suck the money out of you. However, this game was very generous. It gives you a 5-star selector, you basically get 105 free pull, you get 100% guarantee on your weapon banner, you get so much out of the game, and I think the game actually recharges stamina faster than Genshin, because it feels like it does. But that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm crazy, but it feels like this game recharges stamina a lot better. Obviously, this game is a lot of fun. Can't say enough good things about it, but I think it's gonna be tough for me to stick with it. I'm gonna play it as long as I can. I'll get bored. Do I plan on spending money on it? Probably not, only because there's any money on Honkai, there's only money Wuthering, and Marvel Snap. If you think Marvel Snap, it's Battle Pass like what, $18? Hongai is $20. This game I think is like about $20. That's like $50 right there. Plus all my other expenses with other video games. Oh yeah, like $30 on Roblox. But besides the point, that's almost $100 a month in video games. That's essentially a AAA. That is a AAA game. That $100 a month is essentially one AAA game every month with, well, technically speaking, probably pre-order DLC, bonus deluxe edition. But another point for another story. All I want to say is Wuthering Waves, great game, amazing, but I don't know if it's amazing enough because it takes way too much time to follow up with all these games. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comment section down below. You guys look the same. Are you guys gonna play this game? You think it's amazing? Is it a Genshin killer? Is it not a Genshin killer? Is it just gonna live coherently with Genshin side by side and compete with all these other character games that vie for all your attention? I don't know. Let me know in your comment section down below. John Panio signing out. See you guys later. Bye-bye for now. And yes, eventually I kill this bear. As well.